All right, Infinity Pool.
Ooh, this is what we're gonna review today, guys. I thought it was a pretty good movie, actually.
Yeah. Mind blowing, mind bending, mind boggling.
Everything. I mean, everything.
Rated R.
Rated R, very rated R. They have clothes off and they have clothes on. A lot of clothes off though. And yeah, don't take your kids here.
No.
Do not take your kids to this movie.
No.
But definitely check it out. I mean, even if you're not a horror fan, I feel like just a psychological part of this movie, it really blows your mind and really gets you thinking. It really does, yeah. You know, but if you don't like horror, obviously don't go see it. But if you can stand it, I think you should check it out.
Most definitely. And like you said, if you like that mind bending, that mind boggling stuff, definitely check it out. Because it leaves you just wondering what the hell, you know?
What happened?
Seriously.
You know, but anyway, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the actors. But first, obviously, the director, which is Brandon Cronenberg. I thought he directed the hell out of this movie. He actually directed the movie Possessor in 2020, which kind of... He directs both these movies pretty much similarly. And actually, I didn't like Possessor, but you should definitely check it out if you like those psychological, mind-boggling type of movies to where you got to really think.
After watching Infinity Pool, definitely going to check it out.
Definitely check out Possessor. Pretty good, like I said, pretty good director. He's on the come up, but this is one of his best movies for sure. Cool. Then we got Mia Goth, who plays as Gabby in this movie, and she's also played in movie X and movie Pearl. I'm sure our horror fans have seen it. She's an awesome actor. She's known now as the Queen of Horror, which I agree with. If you see her in this movie...
Yes, so? I now 100% agree. Like if she's
every time she's on screen,
dude.
Every time she's on screen, she's creepy.
Chills.
The eyes, I mean, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Her no eyebrow having ass is just creepy, dude. Just straight, like no, man, look away, no. But man, she plays her role very well.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Queen of Horror, most definitely, hands down.
Awesome.
Alexander Skarsgård is next and plays his role very well.
Yep.
Legend of Tarzan, Battleship.
Yep.
Godzilla, King Kong.
True Blood, he's in that show as well, and he plays a pretty important role in that. So he's a really good actor. His brother, Bill Skarsgård, who's an awesome actor as well. He plays It, yes. He's awesome in that. He also played as in Barbarian as well in last year's movie, and that's on HBO Max. And so that was also a pretty good movie. And our other actors on here, Cleopatra Coleman, who plays M. Foster, which is Alexander's wife actually in this movie. Then we got Jalil Lespert, who plays Albin, who is actually Mia Goth's husband in this movie. And then we also have Thomas Kretschmann, who plays Thresh. And he's like I don't know, head of the police force maybe or something like that.
Gatekeeper, the Morpheus in the show.
Right, red pill, blue pill. It's like you have these two options. Which one are you going to make? And whichever move you make, I mean, if you make this option, you got to pay a certain amount of money. If you make this option, something happens to you.
Yeah, and we'll leave details for the spoilers.
Yes, we want you to see this movie. We'll make a spoiler review later on, but we want you to see this movie, so no spoilers. Yeah, so you want to get into what it was about?
Yeah. So movie, pretty much, it's about a couple going on vacation. The husband, played by Alexander, has writer's block. Yep. He writes books, but he hasn't wrote a book in, I think, 6 years?
6 years.
So he's trying to get some inspiration, wants to go on this, spontaneous trip with his rich wife because he hasn't made no money.
Yep.
And then...
Yeah, then later on, they kind of meet up with Mia Goth and her husband, which is Jalil Lespert, getting played by Albin. And, man, these two couple, you already can tell from the beginning, again, no spoilers, but you can tell these are not the couple that you... couple. Yeah, so, Alexander's wife is already kind of iffy. And, Alexander starts making moves that he usually probably wouldn't make, that his wife kind of is looking because... Mia Goth is looking at him. Again, she plays the hell out of her role. Again, I'm not getting into spoilers.
She comes off as a fan.
Yes, a big fan.
He writes books.
Big fan.
Hasn't wrote a book in a while, but he found his fan base.
Yes, and she's a little too friendly. And we'll leave it at that. But anyway, they convinced them to actually, if you saw the trailer, they're going off into this beach that's off the resort.
Right.
But the rules of the land say... you cannot do this. You cannot leave the resort.
They start breaking the rules.
Right. And once you're in a country called Litolka, which is a poor country, again, this is all made up, by the way. Don't look on Google. This is a poor country that the director made up, and they're very religious people. But the people in the resort are not religious and they're not poor. They're very rich.
Yes, and they're separated from everybody else.
Yes.
High fence, barbed wire. I mean, the whole thing. Apparently, there's high crimes.
Yes.
Bad.
And
you don't want to go
yeah.
out into town.
Right. And they said, don't break the rules. Do not leave. If you leave, you are breaking the rules. And again, we'll kind of leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I mean, this was awesome. I mean, I guess we'll kind of go into what we thought about it and
kind of box office, see what Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, box office, I mean, they had like 1.1 million on the first day. Not that great, but again, people aren't really going to go see it like that.
Yeah.
Especially your young kids can't go, I understand. And these type of movies don't really get that many viewers like that. But you should definitely check it out. The marketing was okay for it.
Yeah.
But if you saw the trailer, you'd probably be like, 50% are going to say no, 50% yes.
It's almost like the Human Centipede.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Like, you see that trailer.
Yes. Not as bad as Human Centipede.
Not as bad. No. I'm sorry. Not as bad as that.
Yeah.
Guys. No.
Yeah.
Bad
reference.
But you know what I mean? It's not something that people are going to want to go see.
Yes. But Rotten Tomatoes gave it 88% actually. So that was actually pretty good for a movie like this. Mm-hmm. But it just shows you from the acting to the visuals to everything. They really did a great job. They did a great job. I don't know, Sal, what do you think?
No, they brought the whole production really together. I mean, the whole movie was well played out. The story was very mind-boggling. It leaves you questioning. Yes. Literally leaves you shaking your head, just questioning what just happened.
What just happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like, again, Mia Goth, mind-blowing. She's awesome. She stole the show from me every time she was on screen. I'm just like, what is she going to do next?
Yep.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the movie. And then I was like, I posted a short earlier and I was kind of like, I don't even know what to say about this movie because my mind was still mind-boggled about it. I don't even know. I mean, all I can say is now that I had a day or two to think about this, definitely go watch this movie. I enjoyed it. I really did, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Mainly because there are a couple scenes that we'll get into the spoiler video on. There are a couple scenes where I was just kind of like, they could have did this better, or they could have left this out and added more of, other things in there. But again, not spoiling nothing, but...
I might have to agree with you, D.
8 out of 10?
Especially, 8 out of 10. Just because... Again, there were scenes in there that I felt they could have done a little bit different.
For sure.
But again, this is like the movie that not everybody's going to see. And I think they kind of knew it. So making this movie, they capped themselves, but they brought it.
They brought everything.
Yeah, they brought everything. They gave you suspense. They gave you the thrills. They gave you the jumps. They gave you the mind,
Yeah, the director, Brendan Cronenberg, he brought everything. I mean, he did not leave anything off the table. He put everything on the table, actually.
And more.
Do this.
And more.
When the movie ends, you're going to be like, what did we just see?
Seriously,
so you're either going to hate it or love it, but I enjoyed it.
2-hour movie. So not too bad.
Not too bad at all. It goes by pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. You might be checking your watch once you watch it. Like, when is this movie over? I don't know. Again, depending on what you like. But if you're a horror fan, check this movie out. Even if you're not a horror fan, definitely check this movie out.
Most definitely. If you just want to go catch a movie that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, go experience what it is to be in a theater again.
Yes, it's definitely worth the theaters.
Yes,
most definitely. Yes.
Guys, I think that brings us to a wrap on the regular.
Yep.
All right.
Like I said, we'll have a spoiler review, but that's it for the non-spoiler review. And we'll catch you guys another time from another perspective.
Peace.